Now let's shade our box, and we're also going to put some detail in on the boards. So first thing we're going to do to create the illusion that this box has depth to it, I'm going to make that really dark here, and I actually would add a little bit more thickness to the darkness here. Okay? And the same thing with these spaces between the boards. Really give it some depth. Once you create the depth and the lines and the spacing between the boards, go ahead and, because this is an old wooden crate, go ahead and just start shading in. And the shading is going to be fairly similar all the way across because your light's coming from here, so it would be pretty much the same. So just go ahead and throw some shading in. It would be a little darker where it hits your object, which is the pumpkin. And if you want to, you can even add some, dings and texture into your wood. I'm just going to blend that in a little. And if you feel like adding some texture, you just take, after you blend in, just take your pencil and add some random lines. Make it look like the wood has some grain to it. You don't want them to be all the same, obviously. It gives it a little bit more interest. And these lines would go up and down. You could even add some nail holes if you want to. This is your drawing, so add what you think would look good for you. Once you finish this, we're going to go right down to the boards. And the boards simply is similar to what we did here. Again, it's wood. So I'm going to add some texture. Notice I'm almost doing like some are trying like little V's. You can add like a couple knots if you want. And notice they're on an angle, so I'm going to continue to follow that all the way across. And I'm going to do mine real quick here, but you get the idea. Notice they're all very irregular. Nothing is a straight line. Okay, I'm going to just go that far and show you the next step so you can be going at your own pace. The lines in between the boards, you're going to want to really darken those up. It's hard for me to do. So it shows that there's a space in between these boards. It gives it a little bit of... Okay, I'm just going to go this far for now and add a little bit of shading again. And I'm blending in. I'm going to stop here and continue across the rest of my board, and you can continue with yours. I'll meet you back when we do our cast shadows. Now that we have all our boards in, I want to go ahead and we want to go ahead and put some cast shadows in. And again, the light's coming from here, so we're going to put a cast shadow under here, underneath the pumpkin. And I always go, the angle is like this, so I kind of go like, continue that line and kind of put a point where I think the cast shadow or the light would end hitting. So let's start over here, and we're going to really darken this in. The cast shadow, where it meets the object itself, will be the darkest points. And it's up against this pumpkin, so I'm going to kind of... And as it comes out, just, you don't want to just abruptly stop. So just, again, lessen the pressure on your hand, on the pencil. And then as you come onto the pumpkin, just making a thick line And I'm outlining the pumpkin, but you don't want it to, you want to make it look like it's sitting. So the line under the pumpkin is actually almost straightish. So it looks like it's sitting on the ground. And while I'm doing this and you're doing yours, I'll notate that when you're doing your boards, what I didn't mention is that your lines that you put in for the texture, as you're in the background here, you want them to be smaller and closer together. As they come forward, you'll notice that my lines are longer and a little further apart. That will also give you the perception of distance. Okay. And then I'm going to bring this cash shadow right out to my point, and so the shape is round, so you don't want a square shadow, you want it to be soft roundedness. And again, darkest right where it hits the pumpkin. And as you go, it's going to soften and get lighter and lighter. Another notation I'll make as we're doing this is that once you finish this, we're pretty much going to be finished with this still life, but you want to go back in a real good three-dimensional realistic drawing of any sort will have three values in it. It will have your dark, your medium, and your light. So making sure you have those three qualities will ensure that your picture will look 3D, realistic, and come to life. And if you want to go back and accentuate some of those darkness areas or light areas, that's a great time to do it. I'm almost finished. You guys keeping up with me? One last notation I'll mention is that it's very important as you're drawing to oftentimes, several times during your drawing or painting, to step back away from your picture and take a look, because your perception from far away is much different than when you're right on top of it. Okay, I'm going to do that right now, and we'll come back and look at our final piece.
Is still recording? Is still recording.
There's our finished drawing. Hope you had a great time, and we'll see you next time.